Welcome to the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We've had some great interviews past episodes. You heard from the teams behind Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, the Doge Pound, Oniforce, Crypto Dads, Wall Street Bulls, Sappy Seals, and so many more. We got great interviews coming up in future episodes. On today's show, we're going to talk the latest news about Snoop Dogg and the Sandbox. We're going to talk about some projects we've been highlighting over the past couple days. And then we'll also get to projects that you guys want to hear about. So for those of you watching us live, start letting us know in the chat right now which projects you're looking at, what you want us to pull up, take a look at, and give our thoughts and opinions on. Everyone, this is the Roadmap. All right, everyone, this is the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show, and I'm seeing those comments start to roll in again. Let us know in the comments, what do you want to talk about? What NFT projects are you watching, you've gotten into recently, and just want to chat or find out more information about? Want to give a shout out to FTX, the sponsor of today's episode. FTX is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world in terms of trading volume and daily users. The FTX app is used by over 6 million people to buy crypto and NFTs with no transaction or withdrawal fees. You can use your phone or computer. The FTX US trading platform also offers NFT trading on the Ethereum and Solana blockchains with no gas fees. You can find out more by clicking on the link in the description or in the chat right now. So go ahead and check out FTX if you have not done so already. And again, shout out to FTX for sponsoring today's episode. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Benzinga's own Brian Moir. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. I left my phone over there in the in my living room, so I was trying to scramble and look for it, but I don't see it. Besides that, everything's good.
Everything is good. Well, Brian, it looks like we got lots of people rolling in here in the chat. I'm starting to see comments come in, projects that people are looking at. Don't have a ton of news to talk about today. I mean, we've spent the last couple weeks, right, talking about news and talking about upcoming projects. So today, we're going to talk about a couple items, but then we're going to try to turn it to the chat, right? That's one of the things that Brian and I like to do is, find out about projects maybe that we don't know as much about or we haven't even heard of that come to us from the chat. So if you're here watching us live on YouTube, smash that like and then let us know in the chat what project you either recently bought or you're excited about. Brian, I just want to get into a little bit. I mean, we talked about him last week. We talked about him yesterday because he performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. The one and only Snoop D-O-G, Snoop Dogg, who, I mean, he's very bullish on NFTs, right? And we've heard that for a while. He owns lots of the biggest projects. But another area where he's getting, heavily involved is the metaverse, right? Which is, connected to crypto, connected to NFTs. He announced a partnership last year in September with the Sandbox. So he had news out this week that Death Row Records, right? The label that Dr. Dre co-founded, and they signed Snoop Dogg back in the 90s. Snoop Dogg recently bought Death Row Records, and he said in a recent interview that he wants to make Death Row Records the first major record label in the metaverse. He actually said Death Row will be an NFT label. We will be putting out artists through the metaverse and a whole nother chain of music, he said. And he went on to say, just like when we broke the industry, when we were the first independent record label to be major, I want to be the first major in the metaverse. Brian, what do you think of this? We've talked a lot recently about, music and, utility, music NFTs. Now we're hearing from Snoop Dogg that he wants to launch Death Row Records as, a metaverse and NFT label. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that's awesome. And of course, I think Snoop Dogg is probably one of the best people to actually do this. I mean, he is really involved in the NFT community and in crypto in general, but also is like one of the most well-known people in the music industry and even today. And since the early 90s, I grew up listening to Snoop Dogg, even though my parents might not have liked it at that age, but he's done some crazy things and he's stayed relevant for 30, 40 years now. And that's unheard of. I mean, I don't think I can name another celebrity that was back then that has stayed as relevant and done as much stuff while still producing music. I mean, there's a couple of people like, we don't have to get into that, but yeah, yes, he's the perfect guy for it. I think he will do some crazy, amazing things. And I think that he has everyone's best intentions and the music industry as a whole. Hopefully he will disrupt it and, give money back to the actual creators and artists instead of the labels and stuff taking 80% or 90% of the cut. So we'll see. Yeah, I think he's great for it.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a comment there in the chat from Izzy. I don't like the idea of an NFT label. What will the deals look like for the artist? So that's a great point, right? And that's something that we don't know yet is what will the deals look like? But I have to say that like having Snoop Dogg own the record label and him having so much knowledge in the NFT space, if I was an artist, that would make me feel, confident and good, right? Getting into an NFT music deal with someone who's done them, himself and is bullish on the industry, not just, a record producer who's like, hey, I can make, a shit ton of money off of doing NFTs as well. So I'm going to do that. Snoop Dogg seems to have everyone's, best interest in mind here. He actually just recently released an NFT collection with Gala Games for his new album Back on Death Row. So with that, anyone who bought the record got a NFT of one of the album's songs. So, we did an interview a while back with Dill and, talking about making songs as NFTs and then providing utility to your holders, whether it's merchandise, it's concert tickets, first access to some of those things. So I really think that's where we're going to start with Death Row getting into NFTs, right? And then the metaverse expansion, I think, will come later on. And speaking of, the metaverse and Snoop Dogg, Brian, this is really cool. And I know I'm going to try to get one of these because I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Snoop Dogg is launching an NFT collection called the Doggies, right? Mm-hmm. There they are, 10,000 playable NFTs for the sandbox. They were designed and crafted by Snoop himself. So each avatar will unlock unique utility that goes beyond a simple NFT. They'll be playable. They can unlock future mints and also additional features in the metaverse. So these will launch on February 22nd, 2022, aka 2/22/22. Probably intentionally planned. Although maybe he could have done an April 20th launch instead. But there we have on the screen the different avatars. So Brian, let me break this down for, viewers and listeners here. You're going to get a random NFT when you, get this, and it will have a different rarity. And it is 63% of them will be human, which is all the way on the left there. 11% will be blue. 10% will be alien. 7% zombie. 5% dog with 2 G's, of course. 3% robot, and 1% will be the golden, the rarest. Brian, I know that golden is the rarest and will probably be worth more money, but to me,
drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, to me, I think I want that dog, right? 5%, it's rare. Look at that dog dropping it right now. Like, that's the one that I want. What about you, Brian? Which one of these is jumping out to you that you would want to play in the sandbox?
I'd like the gold one, of course.
The gold one?
Mhm.
You're
I'm
going
trying
all
to
the way.
find
You're
this.
like,
Did you drop the link in the chat? I was trying to find where I can see these.
yeah, let me drop it in the chat here. It is in the private chat. We'll get it here in the YouTube chat as well. So you can check these out again. February 22nd, 2022. I have not seen a price yet. One way that you can make sure that you get one of these is if you're the holder of a previous Snoopverse early access pass, which currently are selling for $2,100. You get access to all of Snoop's drops, whitelist, exclusive NFTs, and you also earn sand, as in the sandbox coin rewards in the Snoopverse. So, I mean, Brian, we talked about the metaverse last week and a couple times, right? We got Decentraland and Sandbox, the two big ones. Obviously, we've got some other ones, popping up and, getting a lot of interest here, but these have really been the ones that have taken over. I mean, look at that. That trailer is just, and this guy dancing, this thing is, it's just hype and it's ready to go. I mean, these doggies, I think, are going to be quite popular. As everyone realizes, hey, if I'm in the metaverse, I need an avatar and I need something unique, right?
Mhm.
I mean, do you want it to look like yourself, or do you want, something Snoop Dogg? Like, that's pretty sweet too. So, again, I'm excited about these, and I'll be looking forward to that launch on February 22nd.
Yeah, same here. I think along with the sandbox, I'm pretty sure Gucci is going to be. They bought a bunch of area and space in the sandbox. It could have been Decentraland, but I think it was actually a sandbox. I can try to look that up, but I thought that was interesting. Kind of goes along with, these artists and big brands jumping in and shelling out tons of money for it.
Yeah, and again, those are the two big ones, and they also have their own coins, right? We've got Sand, SAND for Sandbox, and we have Mana, MANA for Decentraland. Both those coins have risen significantly over the last year as well. And land prices, Brian, have just skyrocketed. Like, if I would have bought land in Decentraland or the Sandbox a year ago, I probably wouldn't be doing this show right now. Like, let's be honest, because I'd have a little bit more money. There's those passes that you can buy. So again, it is a little bit steep price tag, right? I think 2,100 was the price when I looked earlier today. There's one on the marketplace that you can buy with Sand. There's also one available on OpenSea that was a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like 1 ETH there. They both, give you exclusive rewards and offers. And, I have to guess that this isn't going to be the only Snoop drop that is going to happen in regards to that, partnership with the Sandbox. And Brian, I don't know if
you have a thing with crypto.com too.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but Snoop Dogg got a new neighbor in the Sandbox last year too. Someone shelled out $450,000
Yeah, I remember that.
to acquire the plot of land next to his, and that was because he tweeted out and said, "Hey, who wants to come be my neighbor?" Right? It's not like someone maybe someone did, but it's not like someone popped into the Sandbox and found, that plot of land and was like, I'm gonna buy this. So, and there's going to be more land offerings coming to the Sandbox. I also saw too. So, there is an opportunity here for people to get involved in, some of these big metaverses. And again, it's cool to see Snoop Dogg partner, and it doesn't just look like a cash grab for him. To me, it seems like he really wants to hang out. And I saw a comment earlier, someone that wants to have a gin and juice with Snoop in the metaverse. If you can't meet Snoop in real life, isn't like just chilling with him in the metaverse with one of these doggy avatars? Isn't that the same or the next best thing, right?
Mm-hmm. And just to clarify what I said earlier, what Gucci did buy a bunch of land. It was an undisclosed amount in the Sandbox, and they will let you. You can buy stuff for your avatar and character, and wear actual Gucci NFTs too. So you can be all decked out in your Gucci belt and your Gucci flip flops, sitting next to Snoop Dogg while you drink a gin and juice and burn one down. I mean, it's a wild time to be alive,
It
huh?
sounds like a party, Brian.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of these episodes we're gonna have to do live from you know, Sandbox or Decentraland. We did a little bit of that last week on Thursday, but it's definitely fun, and you can actually, you know, spend a lot of time just hanging out in the metaverse, you know, interacting with these different companies, different people. And, you know, it reminds me of the early days of some of these, you know, MMOs and MMORPG video games, right? And this is the next thing. And I think a lot of people are either really excited about this, or there are some people, you know, who are questioning it. And the ones that question it, you know, might get left behind and just, you know, never participate in the metaverse, which is fine as well. So I think it's a growing industry. I think there's a lot of opportunity. And as we said on yesterday's episode, JP Morgan, one of the, you know, most respected financial institutions out there, said that the metaverse is a $1 trillion opportunity in the future. $1 trillion. So it's not just Snoop Dogg here. There are a lot of companies and a lot of people bullish on the metaverse.
Oh, I mean, at first it was NFTs, and you saw like Visa, they bought a CryptoPunk, and then that dropped, and then they could have gotten for like the same amount. I think they could have gotten like 3 or 4 Bored Apes and made you know, I think 500% more than they did on CryptoPunk. But you see a lot of people buying the NFTs about last year. Now it's all about the metaverse. But the thing is about the metaverse has a lot more expansion and a lot more well, utility, in the sense of that the metaverse is pretty much going to be the second internet. An NFT, yes, has a lot of utility, and there's a lot of stuff, and people should be investing into NFT companies and projects like Bored Ape Yacht Club to do other things. But the metaverse is so expansive, never ending, and you know, it's going to be limitless, the potential. And every sci-fi movie that you've ever really seen has some aspect of a metaverse inside of it, when it comes to like a Blade Runner, or like, that's a good example for it, where you see ads and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to change into that. We're going to have glasses on that, you know, you'll be able to see the pop-up ads that are pop-up things, or order your Amazon straight from thinking it, or straight from just like pointing at something, which you can kind of already do, but in the metaverse. It's nuts. It's crazy. But I think, yeah, we're going to see a lot more in the coming months too. People are going to be shelling out just ridiculous amounts of money to jump into these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and you know, I'm so excited about it. You know, let's get to some other news, and then we'll probably end up circling back to metaverse, because I know there was some questions in the chat. And again, guys, keep dropping those questions, keep dropping those projects. We're gonna have time today to get to, you know, lots of questions and lots of projects to take a look. A project that we talked about yesterday when we went over our calendar was Wonder Pals. So I want to bring up
Mhm.
Wonder Pals here. Wonder Pals, they dropped a update and an article where they announced now some new details on how they're doing their mint, right? So they're going to have a decent amount of people on the whitelist, but the ones that aren't on the whitelist, for their public mint, to avoid gas wars, they are going to do a allocation using their Wonder list. So it's a pre-sale allow list. So you will be able to enter a raffle, right? So 1,500 wallets will be randomly selected. Each person that's selected will be guaranteed to mint one Wonder Pal during a 48-hour window. So should be able to avoid gas wars there. 48 hours to mint. You know, this is a big deal, because I've seen these raffles, you know, as a good way to avoid gas wars. The only thing I always worry about with these is the potential to bot, or people, you know, entering multiple wallets. But that's part of the game, right? So they said that their registration for the raffle will come out today, and you will have until February 20th to enter. That was earlier today. I was going to check their Twitter now to see if they do have a link to that raffle, and I have not seen one yet. So again, pay attention to their Twitter. So let me go ahead and drop their Twitter here in the chat. But Brian, what do you think of this? So a raffle, right? Instead of doing, so 1,500 are going to be left after the whitelist. And instead of doing a public mint where, people are going to pay extremely high gas to get these remaining 1,500, they're going to allow 1,500 random people the chance to get, one Wonder Pal. And again, what was the mint cost? I have the graphic in here. Is it 0.08?
0.08. It
Yeah,
just flew by.
0.08. So I mean, that's a good price here. Like when Mechaverse did their raffle, it was, you got the ability to mint one for 0.5. This is different. I mean, there's going to be some big winners here, and what a good way to get maybe some new people into the space that win this raffle. What do you think, Brian?
So it's definitely different, and I think that it would be it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So by doing this, they're a little bit limiting themselves on expansion of the community and more people like buying in or trying to I'm trying to think of how I can explain this. So one thing that they might end up happening is they kind of shoot themselves in the leg with not being able to get more users or get more people in. I don't think that they're going to have a problem with actually selling out or being, pretty successful. But I think by doing this, you're kind of limiting the amount of people that can see it, use it, and be a part of that initial, first launch. But that being said, it will either maybe have an impact on the future price or the listing or how fast it's listed on OpenSea, etc. Or it may just they may be just super successful and it won't affect them. But I think this might affect another project that's smaller, maybe doesn't have the community size that they do or have the hype behind it. And then they're just like, oh, this worked out great for them. And then we fail. So I think it'll work for them. I just want to see how it kind of turns out. It'd be interesting to, pack away for experience. Maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe you want to do that kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the other thing, I mean, Brian, one thing I know you've mentioned in the past, right? And I've talked about from the beginning is like a lot of these mints, if you are highly convicted in it, it's always nice to mint more than one, right? Because then if it is successful, if the floor price is really high at the start, and something I've always, been taught with the stock market, right, is you can always sell, a partial stake, right? Take your cost basis out, right? So if you paid 0.0, yeah, it's hard to sell just one. So if you paid 0.08, and let's say the floor on these is, 0.4, 0.5, right? If you own two, you can sell one and you just made your money back and then some. And the one that you own, you don't have to worry about what the floor is or what it's worth because it's essentially free at that point, right? And it's kind of like when you buy a stock, the stock price doubles, you can sell half, take your cost basis out, and the rest you're playing with the house's money, as they say, right?
Exactly.
So you don't have to worry as much, when it drops sharply of, oh, am I in the, am I in the red? Am I in the green? Right? Because you're in the green the whole way up then. So, having one, but that is going to help increase their unique users, right? Their holders. So maybe that'll keep, a loyal fans, as you said, because Brian, it is going to be hard to sell one, right? If you own one and you want to be part of it, you got to hold on to that one. So yeah, I mean, I like this approach. I think it's going to work out well for them. I'd actually like to see, some other projects, consider this, and maybe that's where we need to go. Gas wars haven't been as big of an issue, of late because a lot of these recent projects have done, Dutch auctions or really high mint cost. So they don't sell out right away. But 0.08 and doing this raffle, I'm really excited about it. And, I'll be entering that raffle and I'll be hoping to get a spot. I mean, I think these things are just amazing. The artwork is so cool. It reminds me of so many other projects. Like there you see the lemon, you see a Roboto, inspired image. Those are two of my favorite collections out there. And again, big following. There's going to be a lot of people probably entered in that raffle. So who knows if I will get in, but it's a unique and a different approach. And I always like when, companies, take a chance like that versus, having a most likely failed gas war, a lot of angry people, a lot of people lose money right away kind of mint.
Yeah, agreed. We'll see.
All right. Well, we will see. So again, that link should be coming out from them today if you follow them on Twitter. You will have until February 20th to enter. And then the mint is coming up. You'll have the 48 hours to get in year one at 0.08. The other thing, Brian, that I kind of like about this, right, is that because people can get one, they are only paying 0.08. And they have that 48-hour period. I actually think we'll see the floor price, pretty low, and a lot of people will be able to get in off the secondary, right? Because I feel like people will still flip it, right? If you can make an easy double, right, like 0.16 or 0.2. But with that being said, I just don't feel like we're going to see this jump from 0.08 to like 1 or 2 ETH overnight, right? Like we do with some of these other, big projects. So I'm excited that, some people will be able to get in off the secondary, and that's something I'll be watching too once that 48-hour mint starts. Another project that I want to talk about, this is one that was actually new to me this week. We've been talking a lot about women founder-led projects, right? And along with that, there have been some women celebrities getting into the space. And this is a new project that actually connects both of those ideas. So not financial advice, but I want to talk about Women Tribe. So Women Tribe is currently in the middle of their pre-sale. So if you had whitelist, their public mint will be on February 19th. This is a collection of 10,000 NFTs. There you see the floor price 0.41. It was actually 0.37 when I typed this out not too long ago. Crypto Chicks, which is another well-known women project, is advising the team on this, which helps provide some validation and credibility. And also the big news for me is that they are hosting a Twitter Spaces tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time with Eva Longoria, right? The actress. And Longoria has 6.8 million followers on Twitter. She currently has a world of women as her profile picture. She's going to be doing a Twitter Spaces. She's been pretty bullish on NFTs lately, talking about them a lot on Twitter. So the fact that she's doing this Twitter Spaces is going to bring a lot of attention, a lot of people to this project, which is happening, in the middle of their pre-sale. So not financial advice, but I just have a feeling that that floor is going to continue to rise. When the public mint happens, I don't know how many are going to be left, but on February 19th, the mint cost is only 0.04. So I feel like we might actually see a gas war there. And with that being said, I mean, I almost bought off of the secondary today because I don't have high hopes that I would be able to get one. Off of that public sale, you already see 7,000 available on OpenSea out of the 10,000. So, I mean, assuming, that the pre-sale stops soon, I don't know, if people are going to have a chance to really grab those at 0.04, the mint cost. So this is one that I've been watching. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you're watching this live, what do you think of this project? So Women Tribe, we've talked about a lot of these, female women-led projects, and they're getting a ton of attention. And this one has really cool art. You saw that scrolling, as we went through. I just think it pops, right? It's one of those things that's going to become a profile picture. You're going to see some female celebrities, get involved as well. Brian, any thoughts here on Women Tribe? And did you know about this one?
Yeah, I did. And I think we touched on this yesterday too. Another, woman-led project and all that stuff. But I think they're artists. Actually, I think that's another one. But another project that has a male artist, but he also was married or something. I don't know. But I really like this one. I like how they have the celebrity endorsements. And I think this one's going to do very, very well because isn't it already Or is this one about to mint? Is that what you said? The Women
So
Tribe.
they're in the middle of the pre-sale right now. So if you had
Gotcha.
whitelist, so
Mhm.
around 7,200 of the 10,000 have already been minted. The public mint is not until the 19th, which is, let's see, today is Thursday, so Saturday. The public mint for 0.04 of however many are left. I don't have high hopes again that I'd be able to get in on that
It'll
public
be at
mint.
1 or 2 ETH within, an hour of it being, after the presale
Yeah, and I mean,
or the
don't you think
minting.
that Twitter Spaces with Eva Longoria tomorrow, Brian? I mean, don't you think that, like, if you're gonna get into this project, again, not financial advice, guys, but like I try to call out events before they happen, right? And the event is that there is a Twitter Spaces happening tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, with the founders of this project and Eva Longoria.
Mhm.
If you want to get into this project, I feel like you've got from now until the start of that Twitter Spaces. After that, I feel like it might be gone for a little bit. And I
Yeah,
was
gotta keep
early.
trying.
Yeah, I was early to call out World of Women, but didn't buy in myself, and that's one that I still kick myself about constantly. Because I did the research, I called it out in a Discord. I said, "Hey, I think this project's gonna, rise in valuation." Gary Vee just talked about it. It's under, zero point 0.1, and sure enough, it has just been an insane rise of that collection. And with that being said, Eva Longoria has a World of Women as her profile picture. I gotta believe that there's a 50-50 chance that she changes her profile picture to Women Tribe either during the Twitter Spaces or shortly after. What do you think, Brian? Like, isn't
Oh,
there a
definitely.
chance that her Twitter PFP changes?
Mhm. If I
And then
could
that
bet on it, I would definitely bet on it.
I would bet on it, of course. I mean, I'm a betting guy, and I would take those odds. I mean, I'll call it 50-50, but I feel pretty good that that's going to happen. And like I said, I heard Reese Witherspoon in a Twitter Spaces on Tuesday, and there's lots of other, women out there in the NFT space, and a lot of them, the celebrities, they're looking for projects like this, right? They want to support women artists, and here you have a female artist, and this just looks like such cool artwork too. And their roadmap I took a look at, it looks like they're going to be doing some airdrops in the future and additional NFTs. So that's something to be excited about too. Yeah, here we
I
have
like
the
this one a lot.
here we have the website. Yeah, and I mean, Brian, I might have to buy one of these later
Mm.
today. So yeah, charity, which is big in a lot of these projects, right? Community wallet, merch, scholarship. So again, charity and scholarship, and then season 2. So I mean, already talking about season 2. So the potential for airdrops, exclusive collabs. That's the other thing. So Crypto Chicks is an advisor on this, one of their team leads. And Crypto Chicks, I haven't looked at, so that is a collection of 10,000. Their floor price is 0.99. Let's say they collab together, right? Or some of these other women projects collab together, create, some new pieces. I mean,
Mhm.
I gotta feel like that's a strong consideration here. So Brian, you like this one then?
Yeah, I do. I think the art's really unique. I actually really, really like it. It's one of my favorite ones I've seen in a long time. And there's a lot of big names behind it. I think there's a lot of powerful functionality and a lot of cool things that we're going to see out of this project for sure. I don't think that this is going to be one of the ones that kind of gets a lot of hype then dies down, or I think that we're only going to see success from this one. And like you said, I'm going to look into getting one myself.
Awesome. Well, Brian, I got one more to talk about here a minute before we get to any others you want to look at or the chat here. This is why NFTs are a 24/7 job or sector or anything, is because if you go away or you are not watching at all hours, you miss out on something. So last night I saw this a couple hours too late. I almost bought in, still didn't. Woke up this morning and wish I would have. There was kind of this stealth launch of, believe it or not, this is spreadsheets. So there is a new NFT
Ooh.
project called Sheet Fighter, and it is spreadsheets that they are building 100% on-chain fighting game, right? That is going to be based on your spreadsheet and what HP you have and what stats you have, what colors they are, whether or not things are highlighted. And you're also going to be able to stake these. You're going to be able to increase your stats along the way. So this is really cool. I mean, this is one of those unique ones, right, that you don't just see all the time, right? We see a lot of similar PFP projects. This is kind of unique. It has that same style that we saw with Loot, with Blue, some of these text-based NFTs. But the fact that there is a game in the works, like, that makes me, you know, really like this project. And I listened to a Twitter Spaces that the team did last night, and they really seemed like they knew what they were talking about and that they really wanted to get into this. The floor price now is 0.268. The mint cost was 0.05. When I went to bed last night, I think we were at 0.17. And I almost was a buyer there, and now she gone. And you know, they've also attracted some big names in. They've actually done a really good job of marketing. Here you see one of their ads, their how-to guide. They actually put out a couple of videos tagging some NFT enthusiasts in them too. So friend of the show, Tropo Farmer, he bought into this project. I saw them tag Gary V in a video. I believe Steve Aoki bought into this one today as well. So I just feel like they did a really good job with this project, and it's not one that I had heard about. It didn't get a lot of hype. And then when it happened last night, I mean, this thing just really took off. And I think a lot of people are excited for this game. What do you think, Brian? I mean, would you get into this and battle some spreadsheets against some spreadsheets?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the middle of trying to look at it right now, so I understand it a little bit better.
Shitoshi Nakamoto. I didn't see that.
Uh-huh.
Shitoshi, look at that. I mean, Sheet Fighter. And
Yeah, I like
yes,
this a lot. I think it's really cool.
I just feel like it's unique and it's well done, right? And, you know, again, you're going to be able to battle. But the thing that I like too is that you can stake these so you can earn, and that you can upgrade yours, right? So even if you buy one at the floor, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the worst fighting spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying those words, right? The worst spreadsheet fighter around, because you're going to be able to upgrade different stats. So there's going to be some sort of, you know, level of luck and level of, you know, ability and to know what you're doing. So people who have maybe played some fighting games before, you're going to know, hey, I want to upgrade this stat, or I want this stat to be better than, you know, this one. And again, you're going to be able to battle people and earn along the way. So I just feel like this is going to be a lot of fun. And this is one that's been on my watch since last night, and another one that I'm taking a look at today and maybe getting into. So, Brian, maybe we'll be able to battle spreadsheets on the show against each other in the future. So, I mean, that
Yeah, I
sounds,
think that'd be interesting. That'd be
it's
really
not
cool.
something I would have
And
ever
fun.
guessed we'd be doing, but
Right.
here we are. So, we'll reach out to Sheep Fighter, because I would love to have them on the show too, right? Because this is just, I would love to hear, I mean, to just ask that question, Brian, right? How in the world did we come up with the idea of a spreadsheet fighting game? Like, where did that idea come from? How did you make this happen? Because it is sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in like high school, we would play kind of like a thing, like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but we would use a spreadsheet with Excel. And I mean, this was 12 years ago, not too long ago, but like we would kind of do that. And I can see that kind of happening because you can keep track of all your stats and your weapons and everything like that. Maybe it'd be around the same, but I'm really interested because now it gives a little bit of nostalgia back into it too. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just feel like it's so unique. It's, you know, really cool. And you know, it's one that we'll talk about in the future, you know, as that game launches. All right, well, Brian, before we get to the chat here, are there any other projects that you want to mention on today's show?
I think we kind of covered most everything. There wasn't anything that not really. I mean, CryptoPunks is up to number 1 over the last 7 days in volume, which is interesting. I noticed that.
Definitely. What did you said? CryptoPunks?
Yeah, they're back up to number one. I'm gonna refresh the page just to make sure I'm not wrong. But the last 7 days, they're the number one collection. They're up 58%.
We do have, I wrote about it before, and I think I brought it up on the show. We have a CryptoPunks auction
Yeah, we mentioned that
happening.
earlier. That might be
Yeah,
why.
I forgot the date now. February 23rd. So next week, Brian, 104 CryptoPunks in one lot. So you might be onto something. We might see that run in CryptoPunks continue into that auction. And again, that's going to bring a ton of attention. I mean, a lot of people already know about CryptoPunks, but remember that CryptoPunks did fall, right? Because they got so massively valued that they did come in down in price. We saw Bored Ape flip them, and then we saw a lot of people actually selling their CryptoPunks, right, to get into Bored Apes, because there was kind of that changing of the guard per se. So it's interesting because that auction, I mean, if someone's willing to pay a decent amount for those 104, also we saw that rare alien, get a record sale price. So CryptoPunks could have another big run here.
Yeah, and crypto dick butts are also running too. They made a little bit of a comeback. The floor price is 7 on these guys.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's ridiculous. If you just look at one, you're like, yeah, there's definitely an NFT bubble right there. There it is. Found it.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right. Well, what do we have in the chat for some projects to look at here? I haven't been grabbing all these comments, so shout out to our producer working behind the scenes. Let's go ahead and let's look. There's Crypto Dick Butts there. Yeah, I mean, these things definitely have a unique look to them, right?
They're an old school project too, comparatively.
All right, and then I was looking at the sales volume. I'm still seeing Azuki, Karafuru, Tasty Bones. We haven't talked about Tasty Bones lately. Maybe we should pull up Tasty Bones here. 1.08 ETH floor. This is 5,000. So it's about half of what a lot of these projects have, right? And the thing I saw today is that they also did some one-of-one, some exclusive pieces for some well-known NFT, enthusiasts or collectors out there. So they got a lot of attention too. These look really cool, Brian. I really like the colors on this. They pop, right? They kind of remind me a little bit of like the Doodles colors, but they have that unique fact that it's the skulls here, right? And this is something, I mean, I would make my PFP on Twitter for sure.
Yeah, there's we're seeing a lot of this that color, that pastel aesthetic. You have like the Society of the Soda Apes. I forgot the D. I can't say it, that one. And then you have the Doodles and a few others that are kind of matching them too. So I think that's become a very popular aesthetic, and I'm not mad at it. I like it too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, what do we got, guys? If you're watching us live right now, it's time to once again smash that like if you have not done so, and to also start shilling some projects here in the chat. Right there's those sodas. I actually owned a couple of these before, and I know that they were gonna do like a can airdrop, right, where you could actually make like a mutant or a different version. But I'm not sure if that happened. But yeah, I really like the colors on these. That was what brought me into that
Derivative
project.
apes.
So
I was trying to say
there's your D.
but I meant derivative, so I didn't say it. Gotcha.
All right. Well, what do we got? What did I see pinned earlier? Royal Egg or Wonder Game? Royal Egg, I have heard of. Wonder Game, I'm trying to think of what Wonder Game is off the top of my head. Wonder Game Metaverse. NFTs that earn passive crypto. Brian, do you know either one of these?
Ones that would earn passive crypto, or
so there's a project called Wonder Game Metaverse. I have not heard of. So someone in the chat was asking about this. This was Kindred Duke. So here is their Twitter account. And again, it's NFTs that earn passive crypto, land plus penthouse plus games. I have not heard of this one, but Brian, I'm a big fan, as you well know, right, of play to earn games. So this is White Rabbits and Mad Hatters compete on an island in the Wonderverse. You can earn WG as the token. Yeah. So it looks like there is a whitelist that you can join on the website. So I don't know if this project is actually launched yet. Who was this in the chat? This was Kindred Duke. Kindred Duke, if you're still here, let us know. Wonder Game Metaverse. Tell us more about this, because I love play to earn games and I want to get in on some of these. So I'm gonna hit that whitelist button maybe and see what this is all about. And Brian, I'm seeing their investors. They have an investor section, investors and partners on their page, and they list OpenSea, Uniswap, the Sandbox, Chainlink, Polygon, Ethereum Foundation.
Some big names, yeah.
Yeah, big names. So we might have to do a little bit more looking into this. But yeah, it says join whitelist, play mini game, so you can actually test this out. Maybe. Oh no, just what I need, a game that I can play instead of working. Yeah, that's gonna be trouble. So, all right. Well, yeah, I don't know a ton about this. So yeah, let us know. Oh, there it is. So whitelist. You got it. Yeah. So I mean, I'd have to take a look at it, find out more about the costs and some different things. But yeah, it's definitely one that I would maybe consider. But again, not financial advice by any means. But what else do we have in the chat? I think I saw. Did someone mention Rabbitars? The one from Playboy Group, I believe, was mentioned there in the chat. Let me pull this up. Oh, this one actually is less than I thought. So 0.138 I'm seeing for the floor right now, Brian. So this is, I mean, from Playboy, obviously well-known company, right? It's 11,953 NFTs based on, that famous bunny logo. And the thing with this, right, is that they're going to be dropping some merch, right, and providing some utility to these. So, I mean, I have to think that there's some future value there, right? Given the fact, I'm a little surprised there we see the magazine, right? Because the company has really tried to distance themselves a little bit from the magazine and some of their past history. So I'm a little surprised to see that. But I mean, the color backgrounds there look pretty sweet. But yeah. So Brian, what do you think?
I mean, it's Playboy, so there's gonna be interesting content that's gonna go with it. So I guess we'll just have to kind of see what's all included. I mean, I think of course it'll do all right. It'll just we'll see what kind of functions it brings, what you're allowed to get whenever you own one, what kind of benefits that come with it, that kind of stuff. We'll see. Definitely something I'm going to keep on the watch and see how it does. They look a lot like Fluff World. I wonder if I guess they got a lot of their ideas from that.
It does look kind of similar. Yeah, Fluff World actually had like the 3D part, right, where it actually like moved and everything too. So Fluff World, yeah, I remember trying to mint that when it went live, and I just remember it selling out so fast. Yeah, 4.5 floor price there, 10,000. I mean, yeah, these look sweet, right? Just basically ready to go in the metaverse, right? Pop him in. He's already there. Like, so, and oh yeah, and these ones have music with them too, right? I think each one had like a unique beat to it that someone actually made. So that's pretty unique and something we haven't really seen a ton of in the NFT space. All right, what else do we got in the chat, guys? Come on, let's go. Show these projects. I mean, Brian and I, we're ready to look at some new ones here. I think I saw, was it Cheeky Chimps? Cheeky Chimps, another one I haven't heard of. Of course, it's a ape or a monkey. It looks like February 22nd. Is the date of phase 2, which is capped at 2,222. Is this I think this is a Solana. Brian, Brian, you know anything about this one? I haven't heard of this one.
I'm trying to find the name of it. Like you just said, I don't see it now. Phase 8. It's not that 888, that 888 one. I heard that one was a big scam.
Yeah, I dropped the Twitter in the private chat here. If it's the
Cheeky Apes.
Yeah, is this the right one? Who asked about this? I want to make sure. Rickhouse Samurai, is this the right one? Their Twitter here. And then I'm seeing a website, a Discord. Yeah, so it looks like a casino style. So you're gonna earn JPOT is the token you're gonna earn along the way. Metaverse themed the club. There's cheeky chimps, evil chimps, and super chimps. Casino affiliate programs. I mean, I've seen some similar ones to this, kind of do the casino style. Oh, it's on Ethereum. It looks like 0.06, minting paused. I don't know enough about this to really give a huge, opinion. I was kind of hoping it was on Solana because, Brian, I want to find more Solana projects. So, So, all right. Well, on to the next one. What else do we got here in the chat? Give me some more, guys. Lord Byron saying NFTs on Tezos are overlooked. Well, what do you got? What's I don't know any. Tell me, because they're overlooked because I'm not looking. Tell me what their names are so we can look. Solana Meta Galactic Heroes. That sounds like a mouthful. Solana. Is that really the name of a? I don't see this. Yeah, I don't see what that one is. So we're gonna have to find that one. All right, guys. Well, we got a couple minutes left. If you're watching us live, again, we wanted to cover all the big news, but we also wanted to take some time, to get to viewer questions, right? And if you're watching this after we aired, just a reminder that the best time to watch is while we are live, 2 p.m. Eastern time, because then you can interact with Brian and I throughout the episode. And if we have a guest or an interview on, you can also ask questions live. But we do, of course, like people that watch the video after the fact, still the same. And also all of our podcast listeners. Looks like Lord Byron threw one out there. Let's see if we can grab that. Nope, I'm still not seeing that either. So, I mean, it helps if we know these projects or if we can find them. But if you ask for Solana block. Oh, what is it? Is that the Tezars? Oh my goodness. All right. I mean, where are we at? All right, so you get the egg, then you get one. Yeah, I mean, see, this is the problem, Brian. I'm heavy Ethereum, and I gotta diversify here. I gotta get. I mean, I have some flow, right? Because I've got my NBA Top Shot and my NFL All Day, but I gotta get some of these other blockchain NFTs and diversify away. So this might be one that I have to look at. So 9,000 followers, not a ton. Got some in common, it looks like. I mean, the artwork, it's definitely something like I haven't seen before. Like, I feel like it could be like in like a kid's book or something. I mean, no shade meant there. Like, that's what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got, is that like almost like an iPod or like a Game Boy or something on him? So kind of a nostalgic feel there. It's interesting. Brian, any thoughts on this one?
Not really. I mean, I don't really have, like you said, I don't know much about the NFTs on the Tezos chain, so it'd be interesting to see more. I know ADA has NFT support. There's a bunch of these chains. Avex now is popular, and there's so many of these now that are pretty much Ethereum clones or forks that have the same, protocols and standards as Ethereum, the ERC 720 or the ERC 1155 or the 777. So they'll all be able to do the same thing. Any chain that has the same compatibility and is pretty much a fork of Ethereum or has the same kind of protocol structure, you know, you'll be able to use it for to mint NFTs and have the same functionality. It's just all about the volume and how many people are trading it and how many people are interested. And like you said, I don't really have a wallet that would handle Tezos right now, besides maybe Coinbase wallet might. I don't really know. I've not really had to deal with it, so I don't really know how I would get it, or you know, want to deal with transferring all the cash over, because I mainly stick with MetaMask and what it can do. So either Binance Smart Chain or one of those, and Ethereum. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Brian, I was looking at OpenSea and I was looking at like the top 20, and I just saw Quirkies, and I feel like I heard about this one and then just stopped hearing about it. 5,000 Quirkies brought into the metaverse to celebrate everyone's quirks. 5,000.665 floor price. I feel like this was a recent mint. It looks like if I scroll back, minted 7 days ago. These look kind of sweet though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, definitely look inspired by some other projects, but look at those, Brian. How about Quirkies?
They're quirky for sure.
Yeah. We've got a decent amount of followers and comment on Twitter. I like seeing that. Some bigger names. Looks like Vayner NFT follows them. Looks like Greg, the one and only Greg, who's well known for memes and Dogecoin on Twitter, follows them. I mean, so if that's not an endorsement, then I don't know what is, right? But not financial advice. But Quirkies, they look kind of cool, and the fact that they're climbing up on the OpenSea list might be something to watch, right? Sometimes these projects, so it looks like they're number 18 right now. I mean, if they can hold in that top 20, you know, it could be something to look at here. All right.
Sure.
Well, it looks like we are out of time, Brian. So we will be back next week on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Again, shout out to everyone who watched us live, everyone who's listening to the podcast, and another shout out to our wonderful sponsor, FTX. If you have not heard of or signed up for an FTX NFT account or a FTX cryptocurrency account, check out the description of this video below to find out more and to sign up for your account. Brian, anything else to leave us off with today before we see everyone next week?
Nope. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys, take care. Stay tuned. Pre-market prep at the close coming up soon with Spencer and Joel breaking down all the top stories in crypto and stocks. Till next time, everyone, take care.